Where I live in the English countryside, I see lots of hares, beautiful animals. I love their ears, and I love their sort of snouty bits and their big sticky out eyes, and I thought it'd be great fun to carve one. This is a starting point. It's a cast iron coat hook that I bought in the States. I rather liked the way the ears came out and formed the hooks that you put the coat on. When I looked at it though, when I looked back home, I realised that it didn't quite look the way that a hare to me looks. I started researching hares, looking online, and in particular this is a very good book, The Hare. I'll put a note down below, and here's another picture here on the inside. So I've got side views and front views. Online, lots of pictures I copied out. So when I had these photos, when I had all this, I decided I was going to make my working drawing more to the sort of European hare than whatever this sort of hare was, whatever this was made. And before I did that, I needed to look at what wood I had, because that affects the sort of size and how I'm going to make it. Here's the wood that I have. It's a piece of dimensioned Limewood. I have quite a long length of that. And this width here is a little bit wider than this width here. So I thought that I would put my hare, my drawing of my hare, on this piece of wood here, on this face, so that the width of the hare here is the width of the wood across there. But obviously I'm going to be short of wood in these areas for the ears. Now besides a front view like that, my drawing, I need to work out a side view. And what's really important here is that I have lines that go across that register the parts from one side to the other. So that, for example, if I look here, and if I bend that over there, then the lines here will match those lines there. Do you see that? So that goes across, so that everything is registered from one side to the other. But you can see that I'm short of a piece of wood at the front. I'm short of this amount of wood. So what I need to do is a bit of gluing together, and this is what I worked out. So let me move that to one side. So there's my, imagine that's the original piece of wood, uncut. So I know that my front view is going to go on this piece of wood like this here. But I'm missing a bit for the thickness. So what I want to do is take a piece of wood here and flip it over like that. So I've cut a piece off, and I'll glue a piece there, and I'll have to turn this around to show you. This now fits my drawing this way. So I have enough wood this way. So putting that to one side, I've now got a sim problem, is I've got to have wood for the ears at the side. So what I did for that was I cut another piece of wood here, split it so that each piece flips like that. You see. So now I have enough wood for the ears on the side. So I've got to glue up these two bits for the side here and this piece on the top. So that's going to be my starting block. Now, to make life easier, I'm going to want to saw some of this out. When I put this on here, I want to use my bandsaw to cut around here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this part first, bandsaw this piece, and glue that on there second. So there's a two-stage gluing up. So I'm going to start gluing up this one. That's where I'm going to begin. I've done a dry run with the clamping, and let me take these out. These are my two side bits. I'm using sash clamps here because it'll enable me to get the back of the glue up flat. So I'm going to use a basic wood glue, put a coat on this surface here. Not too thick, but definitely covering everything. Put another coat on that one over there. So there's my first coat on that. A little bit of a rid of that. Spread it out on this one. Again, make sure there are no little bits or anything, so that's good on that one. And then I need to put it onto these sides, and I need to go down as far as about here, and about there. And on the other side, some people put this on with a roller, little paint roller, and that can work very well. But this is fairly thick, this glue, I notice, so might not have worked so well. Right, so that's even on all the surfaces. So I've got marks on the surface of the wood, and what I'm going to do is a little rubbing like that, and that sort of smears all the glue together. And the same with this one on here. Smear that together. Line up my dry marks, make sure they're pressed down. So a light clamping to begin with, like seeing the squeeze out. I'm also going to put clamps on the top here as well. And then I'm going to now tighten that up. Use a wet cloth, wipe that off. I can. Leave that to set. I've taken the wood out of the clamps, and it's now time to think about the wood that comes up here for the nose of the hare. Here's my drawing, and that'll fit somewhere like this. So the question is, how much wood do I need to come this way? Well, I can work that out from my side view. My side view tells me it's this much, which comes up to about here, and I've drawn a red line there on my drawing here, and that shows me that from that point on, that's where I need to add wood. So I've made a copy of this part, glued it onto the block of wood, and that will fit here on this piece there. And the ears, I've cut those out, they will fit like that on the wood, and this will come up to here like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just glue these down with some photo mount adhesive. can just hear me spraying off camera now, briefly. And that will stick just, let's get that right, just there. So I'm going to bandsaw this out. Yeah. And then this piece will fit here. So I'm going to draw around this piece here. And this now is what I'm going to bandsaw out. I'm back from the bandsaw with my cutout ears and back of the head, and I'm going to now glue on the front here like that. So I've got this propped up because I want to be able to put my clamps underneath here, so a little bit of space there. So just as before, I put glue on this part here up to where the paper is. And glue on the back of this one as well. Nice and even. Make sure I go right to the edges and brush off, so there's any little frass from the saw that gets pushed out of the way. So just as before, I make a rubbing joint, so I rub that together. That looks about right. It's always tricky, the first one or two clamps you put on, because unless you're quite in the middle, it tends to move a little bit. Put that one there, lightly. That one on the other side there. Gradually increase the pressure. It settles in. Then I'm going to put another one up here on this corner. Another one on this corner, so just leave it a moment or two so the glue sort of starts to vacuum in, and then I'm going to tighten all those up. And I've got a nice squeeze out all the way around, which I'll wipe with a cloth, and that's my block of wood glued up.